So are you on a journey to embody the highest version of yourself? I want you to watch this episode then to learn how to go from envisioning your highest self to actually becoming her. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Tiffany Shelton Mariol. I'm a neuropsychologist, published author, and I'm the founder of Mod Ambition. Every single week, I post about how to plan, how to manifest, and how to enjoy your dream life. So please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my episodes. By the end of today's episode, you're going to know how to use habit tracking to manifest goals so that you can show up as the best version of yourself each and every single day. And quickly, before we jump into all that, I do want you guys to know that if you want to take a deep dive into my exact formula for manifestation that goes a bit further into the practical strategies like we're going to discuss today to manifest goals, be sure to check out my free live mini course that's going to be coming up called Ambitious Manifester. It's going to include 3 live master classes, opportunities to ask me questions directly, and a free workbook to help you apply everything that you learn in the master classes. There will be no fluff, lots of value that I hope that brings to your life, and so I hope you guys can join me. Okay, firstly, let's chat a little bit about why habits are so important when it comes to manifesting your big goals. There was an article in I think it was nestlabs.com that said, in his book, The Principles of Psychology, the pioneering philosopher and psychologist William James described living creatures as bundles of habits, explaining that developing habits simplifies the movements required to achieve a given result. He found that habits make our actions more accurate and less tiring to complete. So simply put, the manifestation and healthy habit that you can add to your life really are going to simplify the process of goal getting. So enter habit tracking, which has been shown to help us solidify new habits. Just the act of tracking the habits that we're trying to develop helps you solidify them. And there are many other benefits of habit tracking, including increasing your productivity, increasing your mindful awareness of behaviors and actions that you're trying to change, allowing for opportunities for course correction when you've fallen off track. Habit tracking serves as a form of accountability and in turn a source of motivation. And it serves as a placeholder and reminder of the habits that are important to you to cultivate. So let's just jump into how you can use habit tracking to manifest your big goals. Okay, so the first thing I want to offer you as you start to use habit tracking is to know what stage of change you're in before you jump into building any new habit or tracking any new habit. I talked a lot about this in a recent video I did on how to make habits stick that you can check out on my YouTube channel or podcast, Mod Ambition podcast. So I'm not going to go into too much detail now, but knowing where you are in the process of changing your behavior is going to help you know what actions will help you most. Okay, so make sure you know what stage of change are you in when it comes to developing these new habits. Next, I want you to use the Mod Ambition pillars to help you actually consistently use habit tracking to manifest your goals. And these pillars are to 1, plan, 2, prepare, and 3, execute. Those are the pillars that I developed to help you have it all without the overwhelm. Okay, so the first pillar of plan. How can you use planning to help you habit track in a way that's going to help you manifest your goals? So first, you're going to decide, you're going to plan out when you're going to track. When is going to be the best time for you to track these habits that you're going to use to manifest your goals. Remember, these are all habits that are helping you get closer to the things that you want to manifest and actually helping you get closer to becoming the person that manifests those things, right? So when is it going to be best for you to track these new habits? Are you going to do it when you plan each day or plan each week? Are you going to kind of look and kind of see, have you been doing these habits that you want to develop? Second thing I want you to plan is to decide what you're going to track. Consider your goals and your values here. So when you're thinking about habits that you're going to track, just don't track things that you hear everyone say that you need to be doing or you feel like you should. I really want these habits to be decided upon based on what are my goals in my life right now and what are my values in my life. Also, what season am I in? And then use that information to really decide upon habits that are important to you and moving you closer to the goals that you want to accomplish. The third thing I want you to plan when it comes to habit tracking to manifest goals is to know your why behind these habits that you're tracking. So take a moment to really be intentional and think about Why do I want these things? This is going to help you stay motivated on your journey in developing these new habits. Okay, so you have planned out before you start habit tracking. Now it's time to move into the second modern ambition pillar, which is to prepare. So when it comes to preparing for habit tracking, I want you to set up your tracker beforehand, before you start, throughout the week or whenever you decide to track these habits. Maybe you're tracking each day, which I suggest various habits that you want to do daily. I want you to set up that tracker beforehand, so all you have to do in the moment is input yes or no or your little check mark at the time that you have decided to track. It's just going to make it easier instead of having to write it in when you go to try to track these things. If it's already there and you're just asking yourself yes or no and just putting a check or circling however your habit tracker looks, then it's going to make it much easier. Also, when it comes to preparation, this is also going to serve as a cue to remind you to do the habit as well as track it if you already have it written down, those habits. It's going to keep that at the top of your mind and help you feel prepared in going into remembering those things and help you feel prepared when it comes to actually tracking them. Okay, so then moving on to the third pillar of Mod Ambition, which is to execute, actually getting it done, tracking those habits. The first thing to keep in mind is make it super easy. Stack habit tracking with something else you already do consistently, like using your planner daily. When it comes to executing habit tracking for goal getting, I also want you to make it fun. Find ways to maybe reward yourself or make it an entertaining process by decorating your habit tracker or whatever it's going to make it fun. Do that so it can be something that you look forward to and your brain feels rewarded. You get a sense of dopamine. Just checking off can also be fun when you get in the habit of actually doing these when you're tracking. So remember to make it fun. Also, I want you to use the never twice rule when you're executing habit tracking. So if you notice there's a day, let's say that you want to take your supplements every day, right? And you notice today you didn't do it, I want you to use the never twice rule, which means, okay, I didn't do it today. That means I absolutely have to get it done tomorrow. Never let yourself go more than once, so 2 days in a row without doing this habit, or 2 times, let's say it's something weekly, 2 times in a row without doing it. Really make it a rule that if I do miss once, I'm going to make sure that I get back on the horse. And then fourth, when it comes to executing habit tracking, I want you to evaluate your progress, but non-judgmentally. So if you notice you didn't take your supplements that day, I don't want you to say to yourself, oh my God, I can never change, or why can't I ever get things together? I can never make anything stick. Don't judge yourself, but instead, I want you to evaluate your progress in the sense of, if I don't get something done, what got in my way? And what can I do to plan and prepare for the next time that's going to make it easier for me to actually get these things done. This tracking is not about guilting yourself or judging yourself. It's really about mindful awareness and just making yourself more aware of your behaviors so that you can change them and be the one in the driver's seat. Okay, so now that you know how to use habit tracking, let's talk about some ideas for what habits to track when it comes to manifesting goals. So some things that you might find helpful to track when you're trying to obtain or achieve goals. Obviously, number one is goal tracking. So writing down your goals and keeping track, maybe checking in, at different milestones like quarterly, how you're doing on each one of those goals and rating your progress for those goals. In the planner that I'm relaunching, I think it's going to be relaunched in December, one version of it. I will have that in there for you guys and all of this kind of information, but that's really important to track your goals, obviously. Other habits that you can consider tracking that are going to help you reach your goals are your self-care habits, right? You want to make sure that you're coming towards hustling towards your goals with your cup full so that you can continue to hustle in a sustainable way, in a way that makes sense for you, that you're not burned out, that you're not overwhelmed, that you're not in touch with your spirit, that you're just going through the motions, right? So what are those self-care habits for you that are going to make you feel joyful, that are going to make you feel faithful, and that are going to make you feel aligned with your higher spirit? And you want to add those into your tracker. You can also track positive thinking, right? We know that like attracts like. That's the whole basis of the law of attraction. So the more positively we can think about life, about ourselves, about our goals, the easier it's going to be to get there. So how can you think of, like, for instance, with my clients going through Dream Life Academy, I always have them start to track some of the thought techniques that I give them, that I assign them to use. Are they using those things? Are they using downstream language? Are they speaking kind to themselves? Are they reframing negative thoughts? And just keeping in mind, are you able to continue to do those things, because it's definitely going to move you closer to your goals. Another thing that you can track is journaling, or any type of reflection that you do in your planner that's prompted in your planner. Journaling is a good way to process your thoughts, so you're not just going through the motions. And it's also a way for you to really process those life lessons that are necessary for you to become the person who manifest what you want. If you're just going through the motions and never taking time to reflect, then you can't really evolve in a conscious way that propels you faster towards what you want. So journaling about life's challenges, journaling about any negative thoughts that you have, reflecting upon what you're learning in each moment of life is going to help you definitely move closer to those goals. You can also track spiritual practices like meditation and mindfulness. Again, any way that we can connect to our higher spirit, which is the place that plants the seed of what we want in the first place, the faster we are going to be able to attract it to ourselves. I also always suggest tracking, reviewing your vision board, and reading your goals and reading your focus wheel. If you don't know what any of that stuff is, you can definitely check out my video. I have videos on vision boards and focus wheels to help you overcome limiting beliefs. But have it in praxis to review, or have it in your habit tracker, so that you are reminded to look at those things. A vision board is great, and it can be passively, obviously, put into our mind just by putting it up on the wall or putting it on your phone. But taking time every day to look at it intentionally also really, really boosts that abundance mindset, because you're seeing every day with intention what it is that you want. So tracking, just, did I look at my vision board today? Did I read my goals today? Did I read my focus wheel? Is going to help be that, like, coach, that manifestation coach, if you will, in and of itself, just by that habit tracker. Other helpful things to track when you're manifesting goals are those behaviors that support your ability to show up, right? How much sleep did I get last night? What was the quality of my sleep last night? What was my energy level today? How was my focus today? What were my nutrition habits? Those are all things that directly feed into our ability to go after whatever it is that we want, whether that's a baby or a promotion or whatever the case may be. If you don't have the energy and you're burned out, you're not going to be able to keep going there. So just tracking, and then if you're noticing, wow, there's like 3 nights in a row that my quality of sleep was like a 5 or below. Okay, that might be something that cues you to look into that and think about, what can I do to get better sleep so that I feel better, so I have more energy the next day. Maybe I need to eat better. Maybe I just need to go to bed better, earlier, or maybe I need to not do screen time an hour before bed. And you can maybe start tracking some of those things. So this all kind of like works together as well. You can also notice what foods make you feel like a certain way. If you notice that your nutrition wasn't so good 3 days in a row, and on those 3 days your energy was also low, it's going to help. Again, that mindful awareness is so important when it comes to living these values that move you closer to what you want. Other things are habits that directly bring you closer to your goals. So if you are looking to manifest financial freedom through entrepreneurship, and you know that social media is a big piece of the way that you're getting your message out there, you can track, did I post on TikTok every day? Did I post on YouTube every week? Did I send out a newsletter? Those are just like really tangible things that you can track as well. And then breaking down your larger aligned actions into smaller things that you can track are also helpful. I will put an overview here of the hero content tracker that I use currently to track what I call I got this term from Ashlyn, right? Hero content is, so essentially, it's a little bit off topic, but for me, getting my message out, YouTube and the podcast are very, very important to me. Those are my main pieces of ways that I communicate with folks, that I communicate what I'm doing, and that I give value, right? So those are the things that no matter what happens, you're not going to miss your hero content. You may miss, you know, posting on TikTok or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever the case may be, but you always try to make sure you get those hero pieces out. So for me, when it comes to getting those pieces out to you guys, there's a lot of different factors that go into getting a piece of content out, like a YouTube video or a podcast, which are one and the same for me now. And so I use a tracker to help me just kind of sort all those aligned actions that help me move closer to those things. That way I'm not feeling like I have to keep it all in my head, but I am also moving towards my goals because I'm tracking it and then doing it for me on paper. Obviously, I'm a paper planner lover. Helps. I've tried to track these kinds of things in Trello and just in Google Drive. I use a system of two. Obviously, all the assets for these things are digital, but the actual tracking for me works better when I do it on paper. I don't know why, it just does. So if you're habit tracking on digital and you just can't get in the groove with it, try adding it to your planner. Try print, you know, go in Canva, make you something that you can print out and see if it works for you better, and vice versa. If you're doing on paper and you're getting scattered, you're losing papers, it's not working for you, try digital habit tracking as well. And please don't forget, if you want to take a deep dive into my exact formula for manifestation that goes a bit further into practical strategies like the one I've shared with you today to manifest big goals, be sure to check out my free live mini course, Ambitious Manifester. It's coming up very soon. It's going to include 3 live masterclasses, opportunities to ask me questions directly, and a free workbook to help you apply everything you learned in the 3 masterclasses. So you can click the link below if you want to join me for completely free. Or you can go to tiffanyShelton.com/mini course to register for my free manifestation course for ambitious women. Okay, I would love to end this episode by offering an intention for you this week. May you show up as your highest self while manifesting your biggest goals. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers to planning, manifesting, and enjoying your dream life. And until next time, namaste.